265 Northwestern Highway. Call 248-996-9428. 411 Therapy.
Listen to what people are saying about Sleep Sense from Common Sense Wellness Worldwide.
That's my favorite product. I go to bed and I put it under my tongue, enjoy the taste, and boom, I'm gone within probably 10 minutes. And it's like all of a sudden it's morning and you wake up refreshed. It's probably the most incredible product I've ever experienced.
Sleep Sense is one of my favorite products I've ever taken in my life. The results are so immediate. The very first night I took it, I slept the best I've slept ever that I can remember. I've dealt with a lot of anxiety, nervousness, depression type issues my whole life. And so I find that I can lay down and in just moments I'm asleep. It feels like I'm eating a Jolly Rancher candy while I go to sleep. I started sleeping through the night.
If you have trouble falling asleep or sleeping through the night, now you can experience the best sleep of your life with Sleep Sense from Common Sense Wellness Worldwide. Go to WJZDRadioDetroit.com and click on the sleep banner. That's WJZDRadioDetroit.com. Click on the sleep banner and enjoy the best sleep of your life.
Illegal drug and alcohol use can destroy families and businesses. I like it. Alpha Screening protects your business with accurate employment, random, reasonable suspicion, and post-accident drug and alcohol testing. Alpha Screening, located at 2096 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan, is DOT state certified and uses state-of-the-art technology. Call 313-681-5879. At Alpha Screening, our services are used by schools, attorneys, government agencies, the courts, private businesses, and families.
We have to turn the music down a little bit.
2096 South
Just setting up the shop
in Westland, Michigan. Or call 313-681-5879. Alpha Screening, keeping companies and families drug-free.
I'll tell you in a second.
When you're ready to own your own business, to be the boss, you'll need some help. Let American Capital Solutions be your first call. With 30 years of customer retention, development, and satisfaction, American Capital Solutions are recognized as industry leaders. We assist in brand awareness with corporations like Rolls-Royce Motor Cars, casinos and resorts, concerts and music festivals worldwide. Success is what we do. Existing businesses may need equipment or money for expansion. Contact Michael Cash at American Capital Solutions and apply for a business loan today. American Capital Solutions approves loans for those who qualify from $5,000 to $50 million. The daily demands of business expenses can stop you from achieving your goals for you and your family. Call Michael Cash at American Capital Solutions at 313-808-5940 or visit our website at americancapital.solutions.
We're going to start the show with some music from my man, Nick Smith.
Solutions.
You guys have been saying traditional music,
You've heard
traditional jazz. Well, here it comes
Radio
with a new flair.
.com.
Good morning. This is the Rise and Grind Morning Show. I'm your man, Don Allen. And in the background, I had to start with a brand new friend of mine. His name is Nick Smith. And I've been hearing so much chatter about we don't play traditional jazz and we want a jazz station and all of that nonsense. Music is music, okay? All right, jazz is jazz. There's old jazz, there's new jazz, there's acoustic jazz, there's jazz fusion, there's smooth jazz. And I just thought I'd add a little bit of traditional acoustic, semi-acoustic that is, jazz to the mix. That's music from Nick Smith. This is called Like That. And also gonna hear another one from him called Chillin' Mellow. Had a chance to kick it with him. He's out on the West Coast right now where it is like, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I hope he woke up to check out the show. My name is Don Allen. Good Wednesday morning, Wealth Building Wednesday. Got my man Roger LeGrone with us, Carolyn Hill, and Anitra is with us as well. So is Waldo and G-Hen. I know, G-Hen's probably in production working on the Artist Spotlight with Tanya Michelle. And I know it's going to be fabulous because this week it's going to be with K-John. You remember out there on the ocean, I know my ship is coming in. Yeah, we got him. We're going to talk to him. Oh, well, actually, she is. She's going to be talking to him and finding out what he's up to, when he's going to come out with some new stuff. And I know he's working on it. I spoke with him about a week or so ago, And he said he's got a lot of great projects he's working on. Musically, coming up this hour, we're going to hear from Majid Jordan, Lucine Phelan, Incognito, Demetrius Neighbors, Carla Pace, Motor City's own Carla Pace. We'll hear from Kim and Tony Braxton, Randy Scott, Pieces of a Dream, Ronnie Jordan, Solange. Remember her? That's Beyonce's sister. And my man Gino Vanelli, Adam Hawley, featuring Rick Braun, and Lynn Roundtree to round out the hour. This is the Rise and Grind Morning Show. I'm your man, Don Allen. And as you can tell, I got on my new headphones, and this is how I remember being on the air at WJZZ and over at 98.7 The Breeze, and even over at GPR and every other radio station. You have to have on headphones so you can hear exactly what you're saying and exactly what you sound like. And it's so comfortable. And these are noise deadening headphones as well, so I can't hear any of the outside noise. However, I do hear background echo. So I'm going to work on that. We're going to tweak that out a little bit and see if we can get some of that taken care of. Got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today. Hope you guys are ready to lock it in and get involved in this. I'm your man, Don Allen, and ready to help you get your Wednesday morning started. We've got to get started talking about things on the local front and on the national front. Everybody's talking about what's happening with the Taliban and over in Kabul, you know, and I'm going to touch on that too, you know. Yeah, because I am interested. I mean, hey, what's going on? What's happening, Michael Irvin? I am interested, not deeply, but it's good to know what's going on in the world around you. You know, we can't live in a cocoon. Got to be on what's happening. So, you know, when you get to work or if somebody brings it up, you can say, well, this is my opinion on it. Not that it amounts to much, it's your opinion. I'm glad to have the banner back. You see, with the banners behind me, it has been working. We put it to work the past couple of weeks, the past couple of months, actually. Everywhere we were, you saw that banner right behind us, and you will see that banner. Every time you see us out in the streets, I'm going to do my best. We might have to get another one because this one is getting battle worn, you know, so we're going to have to get another banner. It is a shame that we are still dealing with this virus, especially when we know how to deal with it. Yeah, we don't have a firm grasp on what's happening, but I think we do know what's happening. And bottom line is we have people that have already gotten the shot. The others don't. I'll be brief. Get your shot if you can do so without affecting your overall health. Deep down, I've got a feeling and a sneaking suspicion. That's what my pastor always says. I got a funny feeling and a sneaking suspicion that, you know, A, all of you are not physically challenged to a point where you cannot get the shot. And B, some of you are just flat out lying. And C, some of you are afraid. And that's okay, because there's nothing wrong with being afraid. But do you know the answer for fear? The answer for fear is knowledge. If you know what you're afraid of and you do your research, do your due diligence and find out for yourself. Don't go on what someone else is telling you. Don't go on what your pastor is telling you. Talk to a bunch of different doctors. If you don't trust one doctor, talk to several and find out what the pros and cons are regarding taking the shot. Then after you speak to them, you know, come up with your own decision. Do some research. Don't just listen to some fool you know at work and he seems to get everything right because he drives a Mercedes. That don't cut no mustard. And if that's what you're going on, you're stupid. I'm just saying. What up, big brother? I was just telling everybody they have to get their shots. If they're afraid, the answer for fear is knowledge. You have to ask somebody that you trust. And then if you're still not sure, do your own research. There are books and there is the internet, for Christ's sake. Use the internet for something other than Facebook. Okay? Good morning, Positive Change Enterprises. Big Billy over there. He's working on our t-shirts. Yeah, I had to order some more because we are almost sold out. DJ Waldo, you gotta check out the show. You know I'm already on the air. Quit texting me. Good morning, Riza. My sister-in-law is over there, and we got something for you guys. Yeah, we do. Just a little something to say thank you for the wonderful time you showed us when we were in Phoenix and in Las Vegas. Yeah, we got a little something coming your way, okay? But as I was saying, do your research. If you are afraid to take the shot, do some research. Don't ask your pastor, because your pastor is not a doctor. Don't ask, if you don't trust your doctor, ask several. And if you're still not quite sure, of what the answer is, like I said, get on the internet. There's this little thing they have called Google. Just type in the question the way you'd ask me, per se. I want some information on COVID-19 and the Delta variant, and push enter. I guarantee you, it will spit you a dozen or 100 or so answers that should answer every question that you have. Okay? Okay, my team is on the WJZD radio face. We have our own instant messenger thing where it's just us. And Jihin and Waldo are just going back and forth, and it keeps popping up in front of me. Okay? I think it's, the truth is, there's some of us that, don't want you to think on your own. There are people out there who say, I'm not getting a shot because they injected microchips in us. Okay. Carolyn said she has both shots. She's just recovering from COVID. Her symptoms would have been worse. And bravo, Carolyn. And I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're getting better. And they're talking about a third shot, and if they have it, hell yeah, I'm going to be right in line with it. No questions asked. I'll be in there right there with it, in that long line with smart people in it. I will be over it. But like I said, there are people out there who don't want you to think critically, who don't want you to think constructively. And they are trying to tell you, well, don't get that. Remember what they did to the black people with the polio vaccine and all the rest of that. We'll get to the good people in Washington in just a second. Good morning, DJ Alcode. Our prayers and thoughts are with you and your family. And we've been praying for you, man. Just take care of your business and come on back. We're waiting for you. There's always a spot here for you, because you family. That's right. This is music from Majid Jordan. It's called Waves of Blue. You had to check this one out. Yeah, I'm going to keep talking over all the music because, the FB computers are really smart. And what they do is they listen between what I'm saying. And they say, wait a minute, that's a Warner Brothers record. Take it off. Mute him. So Waldo's got both of his shots. Let's put some of these comments up there. Carolyn said this. She said she's got both shots. She's just recovering from COVID. Her symptoms would have been worse. And Waldo said that he's got both shots as well. And if he needs a boost, he'll get it. And a good old shot afterward. But that one's going to be a double. Okay, and that's going to be in a jelly jar. Don't let anyone make a decision for you. You make the decision that is best for you. Now, if you decide to not get the shot, I'm going to have to ask you to please be honest with me and my family and just call us on the phone, because I'm serious about this. If I get sick and I find out you brought it to me, you're going to have more problem than COVID to think about. And that's the truth, flat out. If you're lying to me, you have no reason. I'm nobody that you ever have to lie to. Just say, Don, I didn't get it. I don't feel safe with it, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, cool. I still love you, but I'm going to love you from afar. That's all I'm going to do. I will. We still cool. And I respect the fact that you are honest with me. But you have to do it from a distance. You see, they just canceled the live portions of the Detroit Jazz Festival. It was going to be downtown. They're switching it back to virtual like they did last year because we don't have a handle on this thing. And the numbers are going back up due to the Delta variant. So let me see if I can turn this down a little bit. Turn it down a little bit more. There we go. We don't really want them computers to get on our nerves. But as I was saying, and to make matters worse, aside from the lying people who saying they did get the shot and no, they didn't, they are actually purchasing fake fake cards that say they're vaccinated. And the thing is, now they're getting $200 and $300 a piece for these things. And like I said, there's a special place in hell for people who do stuff like that, to fake out people who have done the right thing or done what was best for them. I'm not going to say the right thing. They did what was best for them. I took the shots because I felt it was best for me. Boss Lady took hers. And see, Al Cole, he's got both of his shots. And let's see what. Thank you, bro. Absolutely, much love. Just had a conversation with a family member about not taking. I told him to go back to elementary school, and he didn't know anything about what was in the vaccines. He said no. I had to tell him then, get the damn shot. Tell him about it, Cole. Because truth be told, you take Tylenol. Can anybody tell me one ingredient that's in Tylenol? Hell to the no, you cannot. So if you can't tell me what's in Tylenol, why the hell are you going to tell me what's in a vaccine that's supposed to keep you alive? And for the most part, according to statistics, it's keeping people alive, and if you're not taking it because you're scared, okay, fine. Like I said, love you from afar. Okay. Michael Irvin's chiming in about them fake cards will get you jail time, 1 to 5 years in prison. See, already, that's what I'm talking about. So get the shot. If you're a little cow, you're afraid of shots, call me up. I'll take you there and I'll go with you. I'll even hold your hand. We actually did something with State House of Representatives Cynthia A. Johnson a few weeks ago, where we had a street party. She blocked off the street. She called us up. We went over there. We turned the music up, and we were selling T-shirts, and they had free food. You could have gotten your Moderna, your Pfizer, or your Johnson & Johnson shot right there on the spot. Okay, and I'm going to have to get in touch with Cynthia and see if we can do that again. I'm willing to bet we'll have a larger turnout because of the fact that people know that this is the truth. And it's my opinion that a lot of people are not getting the shots because they're like, well, nobody I know died yet. Catholic, let me see if I get this name. Catlejo Quad Deep is watching us today. That's an interesting name. Catlejo Quad Deep Matapi. I hope I said that right. I don't want to offend anyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Your man Don Allen is here, just chit-chatting away. You know what I'm saying? The music in the background, that's music from a girl, Lucine Phelan. I'm going to turn that one up. If y'all like that other guy on the violin, what's his name? I forgot his name. This young lady is awesome. Good morning, Tanya Michelle. This is called Pound Cake from Lucine Phelan. She's out of New York. And if you recall, I think a few years ago, she was on Showtime at the Apollo with Steve Harvey. And normally I watch it, just to see what's going on. And they said she was going to be on there. So naturally, I stuck with it. And the fun part about it is, interesting story. I was scanning through Facebook and I saw her playing. I think it might have been me, might have been Boss Lady. We saw her playing and I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to her. So I reached out to her on Facebook, told her about the station, and she sent me some music. She was like, oh great, he's gonna play my stuff? Send him some music. So she sent the music and I was just blown away. And she's got some new stuff out now. Look her up, Lucine Phelan. And this girl goes hard in the paint. She was actually trained as a pianist, and she took a liking to the violin and started playing it and added a new age twist to it. So check her out. She's awesome stuff. Okay, Mark Wallace, what did you say? Mark has always got something. I got it because a coworker has the number 5 case in the country and just came back to work from over a year. He still wears O2 from time to time. Get the shot. That's right. Tell him about it, Mark. I got to say good morning to Tanya Michelle. She is the host of the Artist Spotlight, heard right here on WJZD Radio on Thursday morning at 11, and which is tomorrow morning, and right at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then she comes back again at 7 to do it again, the Artist Spotlight. This week, K. John. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fire, baby. So get ready for that. I told you guys I was going to touch on some national news just before, let's see. Oh, yeah, you know what I also did? I'm changing up a little bit. I'm not playing any commercials until the end of the hour. So if you guys want to advertise in my 9 o'clock hour, if you want to sponsor this 9 o'clock hour, holler at me, and then I'll add your commercials before 9 o'clock, before 10 o'clock, okay? The Taliban has taken over Kabul on the national news front. As usual, I have a few questions regarding this. First, aren't we hated by most countries around the world? The United States is, Washington like to fill your behind with a bunch of lies talking about, we're the most well-liked and we want to spread democracy. That's bull. Okay, but most countries hate us. If you've seen the news, you've seen them burning the American flag and all the rest of that, aren't we hated by most countries for sticking our nose in other people's business? Second, where the countries like us tend to help these other countries, I'm talking about Great Britain, Germany, France, and so forth, Canada, where they at? Only thing I'm hearing about is all the $2.7 trillion that we spent over there in 20 years. First of all, what the hell are we doing in a fight for 20 years? That is the longest, most drawn out fight I've ever seen. If you can't win a fight in 20 years, maybe you should just get your ass whooped. Go back and do some push-ups and come back and knock at it again in a few years when you get your ducks in a row. Because clearly you just don't have it in you to win this war. 20 years is a long time for the United States to be spending over $2 trillion, and they crying about spending $1 trillion to fix the highways and the infrastructure and all of that. See, those guys in Washington notoriously known for not letting the right hand know what the left hand is doing. Okay? Yeah, but it's fascinating to me. We've been fighting this war for 20 years. We trained these people over there, gave them guns and arms and all of that, and still they got taken over. So that tells me that sometimes you need to get your ass kicked a few times before you get up and fight back. Like they do in a Rocky movie. You know what I'm talking about, that I ain't getting down again mentality. It's fascinating to me that they were cool when the armed forces, the United States forces, were over there dying, getting shot, getting bombed, and getting hurt and murdered, coming back with one arm, one leg, and so forth. They were cool with that. But when we left, now people are saying, you shouldn't have left, you shouldn't have left. We shouldn't have been there in the first damn place. That was their fight. Not ours. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be a cruel guy, a mean guy, but we do have a problem over here. We have several. We have virus that's running around killing this country, and yet we're spending trillions of dollars to protect someone else, and we can't protect our own self. I have a problem with that, because those are my tax dollars going over there as well. Nobody asked me, could you send them over there? So yeah, I got a problem with it. Mark is chiming in again. What'd you say, Mark? He said they need to leave those people alone. First of all, they need to leave those people alone. If they want to blow up their own stuff, let them. The U.S. needs to fix things here in the United States and help us hardworking people out. That's the truth. That is exactly what I'm saying. You see the beautiful sunlight coming in? It's going to be around 82 degrees today. Chance of showers scattered all over the place. Not everywhere. So some of y'all gonna be wet, some of y'all gonna be dry. Put the umbrella in the truck. That's my weather report for today. Further, our politicians are using this as it's his fault argument. If you turn on Fox News, if you turn on CNN, the Democrats are saying it's the Republicans' fault. The Republicans are saying it's the Democrats' fault. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm right in the middle here, because actually, if you recall, this fight was going on during the Obama administration and actually prior to that. So 1, 2, 3, you're president number 4 of these people fighting, with the turbans on and stuff. Nobody thought and said, wait a minute, we're really not getting nowhere with this. The Taliban ain't going nowhere and we ain't going nowhere. Can we meet somewhere in the middle? Isn't that how adult, mature people handle stuff? I mean, that's just me talking. They got the Americans killing our people. We got the Taliban killing their people. And Americans technically don't have a reason to be in it. What's going on? K. Anthony McAllister is in the building. This is my man, 100 Grand right here. Sorry you missed the Kimmy Horn Jazz Fest, where we awarded Rosetta Hines the Lifetime Achievement Award. Well deserved. I was talking to Rose backstage, and she said, Don, I want to be on your radio station. And so I'm going to talk to her again, see if she was just joking, because I know Rose. I know Rose. So she might have said it then because she was just so happy to be around us, And so I'm going to talk to her again and see exactly where she is and if she wants to do it. Getting back to what I was saying, we fought a fight for 20 years, and it's time for us to get our people out of here. We gave you guns. We trained you how to use them. We trained you in hand-to-hand combat, and you still got your ass kicked. So here's the end of the story. And then the Taliban, whether or not you can believe them, the Taliban said, this is a new Taliban. We're going to come in. We're going to respect women, which is deep over there, and we're not going to kill a bunch of people. Yeah, I ain't buying it because that's why them people running away now. So once again, not my circus, not my monkeys, and I don't know anyone who over there, nor do I have a problem with either side. In other words, it is not our fight. I mean, I know that a good war is good for the economy over here. Sad but true. It is sad but true. It is a good thing. It helps the economy. But when you look at the cost that being human life, is it worth it? We have thousands of Americans dying right here from an enemy that we really don't understand. My advice to those guys in Washington, get your priorities in order. You better take care of home first, or you're going to be out of a job. You think that little rush on the Capitol building can only happen once? I'm not encouraging it. Heaven forbid. I am a non-violent person. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. But for those guys in Washington to use our tax dollars to go to fight a war for 20 years just so they can bolster their own income, because guess who owns those companies that supply the tents, supply soap, supply all the gas, supply all the little items that military needs? You know who owns those companies? Your congressmen, your senators, and all of that. So it's good for their economy, not yours. They're using your dollars. You need to be advised. You need to be aware of this. And hell yeah, they want that fight to keep going. And now since the military pulled out, since the president pulled the military out of there, well, it's the Democrats' fault. Well, it's the Republicans' fault. Who gives a damn? It is over with. Ain't our fight. Not our fight. We don't got a dog in that race. Okay, so guys, I want you to really, in Washington, yeah, I might get a call to tell you, they may call me and be like, dog, what you doing? You don't want to pick a fight with us. My man, Mr. McAllister, said homelessness is the worst out here in California. They should put back here, not on war. They should. They should have done this years ago. I don't mind doing the democratic thing and helping other countries out as long as my house is in order. When I say my house, the United States is my house, and it's like yours. It is your house. It is our house. If they did the right thing just like in California, I understand there's an area in California, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. McAllister, that people who are homeless, they live in cardboard boxes. And here in Detroit, Mr. McAllister also knows that they live flat out on the streets. There's a tunnel that leads from Detroit over to Canada. There used to be a train tunnel. And I'm not talking about the Windsor Tunnel, because that's the one you drive through. There's another tunnel further downriver, and it used to be used for train traffic. Well, if you go deep off in there, that's where a lot of them live, you know, and you can also die in there because there are rats, there are stray animals, there's a lot of stuff down in there. And these are things that we need to address. We need to address why the hell your child, who is 15 and 16, has a 9mm with an extended magazine. We need to understand why that you're not doing the right thing by making your child go to school. We need to understand why that you're not helping your child with his homework. You need to perhaps if that child had somebody who cared enough and sat down and said, look, we need to, you know, I know I don't understand your homework either, but tell you what, between the two of us, we're going to resolve this. And if we can't do it, I got your teacher's phone number. I'm going to call your teacher, and they're going to run it down to me, and I'm going to understand it better. Then I can help you. That's not a parent showing weakness. That's a parent showing love, baby. That's what it's all about. Don't get it twisted. I'm still saying, I see 4 and 5-year-old children, 4 and 5, that can walk outside with their pants pulled all the way up over their waist, you know? And then I turn around and I see 50 and 40-year-olds, guys who just don't have it mastered. They got their pants under their ass. I don't get it. There is a problem here in this country. Why in the hell are we spending 20 years and trillions of dollars over there protecting some people who don't protect themselves? Work with me now. Here we go. That's we're gonna readdress that. We're gonna keep watching the news and find out where they're going on this one. We're gonna also keep an eye on the COVID situation. Something else I saw. Yeah, I told you I'm coming today. Malice at the Palace. Did you guys see this? Hey, Bridget, what's going on? How you doing? Uh-oh. It's worse now in Hollywood and now on VA hospital property. Thousands of vets living in tents. And you gotta feel sorry for those guys. Yeah, because those are they who actually, hey, Mom, good morning. My mom's watching, so I can't cuss no more, guys. Guys who were in the Army, when they came home from fighting the war that we had no business being in from the get-go, when they come home and they don't even have a place to stay, and the government is like, well, sorry. Good morning, Denise Brooks. Welcome to the Rise and Grind Morning. We're talking about what's happening in Afghanistan and in Kabul. The United States have pulled out, and we did spend trillions of dollars training and gave them firearms and trained them on how to fight a war. And when we left, they were like, uh-oh, they ain't gonna fight for us no more. No, this is the United States. We fight for the United States. Good morning, DJ Mellow Mike. Oh, incidentally, I'm glad you chimed in, Mellow Mike. We will be with Judge Mathis this weekend over at Rouge Park, and looking forward to that, kicking it with John Barella. What's up? We'll be with Judge Mathis over at Rouge Park this Saturday. Gonna chill out and do some barbecuing with him, you know? And yeah, we'll be out there. Look for this big banner, this one right here. And we are going to be out there. Probably sell a few t-shirts out there, I don't know. Hang out with the guys, hang out with the judge and see what's going on, see what he's into. But like I was getting ready to chime in on, it was Malice at the Palace. Do you remember that? Be at the Palace of Auburn Hills. I've never had the privilege or the pleasure to actually watch a game there. I did see the Pistons when they played at the Silverdome. That was when Zeke first got into the league, you know, him and Dumars, and they built a team around him. But Malice at the Palace, it is on Netflix right now, and it's basically Meta World Peace, Jermaine O'Neal, and what's the other brother's name who was basically involved in it? It was their story on what happened. This is how, because it starts out as a biography of each player. Boom, boom, boom. Those are the three main characters. And it shows how they got into it. The one who lost the most out, unfortunately, was Jermaine O'Neal. Excuse me. And he did lose. And also who lost was, what's my man named? The 3-point king back then. With the hazel eyes. I forgot his name. But anyway, he never got his ring. Jermaine was the bad guy when Meta World Peace was just a guy with a bad attitude. And at the end of the day, now this is my take on this, that was a display of basketball fans behaving badly because, all right, true enough, you're a millionaire, you're a multi-millionaire, you make a lot of money to be running up and down the court, shooting the ball, making the baskets. Okay, I get it. Rule number one is you don't go into the stands. And that's the takeaway number one. Takeaway number two, as a fan, that does not give you the right to throw anything at the players. I don't give a damn if you like them, if you don't like them. A lot of people didn't like Meta World Peace. They still don't like him. He got a ring, and he was a phenomenal player. But that does not give you the right to act like a jackass because you got in your feelings and you decided to throw a beer at a guy who was laying on a table. He didn't bother nobody. Yeah, he made a bad foul, which is what started all this. And they were gonna win anyway. He didn't have to do the foul. But that's neither here nor there. Let's see. Wait a minute. John's chiming in on it. He said, "Yeah, remember that." And been to the Palace to watch the Pistons play. Lucky. Lucky. But when they were there, I was actually in Houston watching the Houston Rockets. And was that Mr. Franchise? Yeah. And there's a bunch of players I saw up there. But at the Toyota Center, which is a big, beautiful place. And I was hanging out with Clyde Drexler and a bunch of other cats too. But anyway, Detroit fans looked really bad that day. They made them look really bad in the documentary. And well, they should have. I call a spade a spade. You act like a jackass, I'm going to point it out. Bam, I don't give a damn what color you are. In this situation was a white guy, or Lebanese or whatever color he was, or whatever nationality. That's not important. What's important is you acted like a jackass and look what you did. You changed 4 into Reggie, the 3-point guy. Right? He ain't a Piston. I don't, okay. You ended 4 careers. Reggie retired. Meta went on and won a championship with the Lakers. Jermaine O'Neal, and these guys, let me tell you something about a basketball team. Having not been on one. My brother was on one. Daryl was on one. A basketball team is more than just a group of guys making a lot of money or, training so they can eventually be a professional. They become a family, just like a football team, just like a baseball team, just like a hockey team, and when somebody attacks one of them, you attacked all of them, and you guys have to realize that. Now, one bad thing that I did hear about that situation at Malice at the Palace, they called them thugs and hoodlums and millionaires out the hood and stuff like that don't know how to behave themselves. But these are the same guys don't say that about hockey players. I mean, how many of us have not seen a fight on the ice, okay? And here are two guys who know they ain't really hurting each other because they padded up to, where, from their neck to their feet. And so these guys, they're going for straight up blows to the head. Boom, 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 boom. Now, what I don't understand is if you get into a fight at a hockey game and you're on the ice, why would you take your helmet off to fight another guy? There are no rules when you're fighting unless you're in a ring. So why would you not leave the helmet on and let him hurt his hand on my helmet while I'm beating the heck out of him on his face? But that's another portion. I just went left on it. But why would you call those guys thugs that are basketball players, but you didn't say that about the hockey players? I'm just saying. Okay. Football is another one. You see some fights in football, not a whole lot, because those guys are like, you don't see they find them heavily, number one. And as they did, I think they suspended Metta World Peace for the rest of the season. They gave one guy 30 games off, one guy 25 games off. That is a lot of money. If they don't play, they don't get paid, Wait a minute, here's something, John. Stevie franchise, that's right, yeah. Funny things, they fight, and then at the end of the game, they all shake like nothing happened. That's a hockey game. That's true, And those guys still pissed off, The emotion got into it. But the Malice at the Palace was a different situation. Here's a guy who was in the stands and threw something and hit Metta World Peace with it, and then Metta, not seeing who exactly threw it, went after the wrong guy. And then the guy who threw it, like a coward, jumped behind Metta World Peace and was trying to punch him. If you watch the video, the guy who actually threw the beer jumped up behind Metta World Peace because Metta World Peace was going after the wrong guy, and the guy started popping him, which was a bad idea because Metta World Peace, I think, turned around and beat the crap out of him. But anyway, then there was another guy out of the stands. Good morning, Gina. How did you end up on the floor? Why were you on the floor? Why were you on the court? You're in a place where a riot breaks out. Now, black people know this because they've seen Cedric the Entertainer, because we run. You see one person run at a crowd, you don't really ask questions. You start running with him. It's like, oh, damn, something about to jump. Homeboy felt it was his, responsibility to come from the stands where he would. Those down behind the team are expensive seats. Those are like $1,200 seats. To come out of that chair and come on the floor and antagonize or surprise the gentleman who was in the middle of it, who happened to be Metta World Peace. And fortunately for him, as Metta was swinging at him, he slipped, and so Metta missed. He might have grazed him. He didn't get a flush shot off. Fortunately for him, he slipped, and they grabbed Metta, But the Malice at the Palace, if you haven't seen it on Netflix, check it out. It is fascinating. It is truly, truly fascinating. And the spin they put on it, I will say this, Jermaine O'Neal, who lost the most out of this, he was speaking articulately. He was, speaking like he was well-educated. He seems to be a well-educated, well-rounded individual. And he played the game hard, as it should be played. Metta he knew he had some emotional challenges. So with that being said, you got to kind of give him a pass. Now, my thing is, NBA was getting him help. He had a psychiatrist that traveled from city to city with him whenever he went, But is this the kind of guy you really want to trust on the floor? You get what you get when you put a guy like that out there, because he wasn't real stable, But during the incident, he did go and separate himself from the violence. He laid across the scorer's table, which was a way to tell the other person that he had antagonized and caused the problem with, like, screw you, and you can't do anything about it. Yeah, there's a bunch of different viewpoints that you can look at this thing at, and let's see, what did you say, John? Season tickets for seating behind the bench courtside cost $25,000 and upwards. This is why I will never be there. Won't be there at the LCA because, Pistons aren't really doing much. And they didn't last season and the season before and the season before. I did go, I was a guest at one of the VIP suites, and those are sweet. I am looking forward to going to check out a Pistons game. I am a football fan. I really want to go see the Lions, but I refuse to buy a Lions. Mike Mitchell said he didn't want any of Ben Wallace. I agree. Good morning, Evelyn Day Hale. He didn't want none of Ben because Ben Wallace was a beast and he was just not to be toyed with, Ben also speaks during the Malice at the Palace. If you haven't seen it, it is on Netflix. I checked it out. Me and the boss lady checked it out the other day. It was really, really quite interesting. The spin that they put on it, like I said, Jermaine O'Neal lost the most. Reggie, what's his name, that people really don't like Reggie if you're from Detroit. I respect the man as a player. He had a deadly three-point shot. I really find it funny. Did you guys remember when he was going against Michael Jordan and he was on fire for the first half of the game, just knocking him down, pow, pow, pow. Then he went over to Jordan and did that choking. Oh yeah, the second half, Reggie found out why he got the name Air Jordan and why he was the GOAT. And at the end of the game, he was like, don't ever talk to Black Jesus like that again. That's what Mike said. At least that's how it came to me. But anyway, Malice at the Palace is if you're a basketball fan, and I am a basketball fan, you definitely want to see it. And at the very end of the piece, they show the palace being blown down. Yeah, and I thought that was a very apropos way of ending the documentary. Because at that particular moment, Jermaine O'Neal said his life wouldn't be the same. He probably wouldn't forget it until they tear that building down. And right when he said that, boom, 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 the building, they blew the building down. And that was in the documentary, of course. It's fascinating. And they show when they lost to the Pistons, and the Pistons went on and became the champions, and Chauncey Billups, that's my boy, and Rip Hamilton and all those cats, Tayshaun Prince, they got their rings and did it twice. Am I mistaken? They did it twice, yeah, 2 times. And has Indiana won yet? They still haven't won? Oh, my bad. Okay. Let's move on. Jay-Z wants to open a sports book in New York. Like DraftKings, and then that thing you see, the Gold Nugget. Hi, I'm Tillman Fertitta, and I'm a billionaire, and I want you to come give me your money in my casinos, not only in my building, but you can do it now on your phone. Well, Jay-Z wants to do a commercial like that because he wants to open a sports book, and I mean, there's a lot of money to be made online gaming. How many of you guys are tired of seeing every other freaking commercial be about gambling? I'm not a gambler. But you might see me in a casino walking around. I'm either going to get some food or waiting on boss lady who does enjoy it. And I don't have a problem with that because she knows her limits. A lot of you guys don't. I actually went to see a friend of mine who works there. The Motor City Casino. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get him in trouble. I went to visit and we were walking around because he was on his break, and we walked into the main thoroughfare where the craps tables are and all the rest of that. And it had the most rank smell. It was just like, it smelled like people who hadn't bathed. And he said, you know why? Because these people have been here all night long. They have lost a stupid amount of money and they're trying to win it back. And I'm like, but didn't they get the memo? Time War, other prisoners of the palace, but being an upgrades to the palace for the fans before they moved downtown. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it was rank. It smelled like a football team that just come into the locker room before they took a shower, right after a hard game or a hard workout. It was just stank up in there. And he told me these people had been there all night. They came when the sun was up yesterday and they stayed overnight and they still had it. I got this. Hold on, let me hold 20. I got this. Hold on, I need to get some more money. I'll be right back. Hold my spot, And it gets to a point where you gotta start thinking. I'm sure you've got responsibilities, and I'm sure you have like little things like a home where you live indoors, a job where you go to work to make the money to apparently blow. I don't have it like that. I wish I did have disposable income like that. But no, I go to work, and this thing right here, this is my child, and I'm nourishing it, and I'm investing into it, and I wish some other people would too. My business is around Detroit. Y'all want to advertise? Well, this is the place. We do it reasonably. But it was unbearable, and people are often chasing that $1 million dream, but they don't want to know, don't they? Nobody sent the letter to these people. Casinos are not in the business to help you win money, ladies and gentlemen. They are in the business of getting your money and betting that you don't win. They're betting that you don't win, you're betting that you do win, and usually their bet is over yours. Okay? I'm just saying. I mean, they're not in the business of making you rich. Casinos are not. And yet they are now all over the country. I remember when I was younger, and a lot of you guys, Evelyn, Mr. McAllister, a lot of you guys can remember when gambling was only held in Las Vegas. Well, yeah, illegal gambling was in people's basements too and stuff like that, and poker parties and so forth. But major league gambling was in Vegas. You had to go to Vegas to do it right there and drink 24 hours a day and da-da-da-da-da-da. But once they legalized it and that casinos started popping up in every city, and they've gone to certain extremes to make it easier for you to give them your money. I went and saw my brother in Indiana, where it is not legal in this particular part of Indiana to have a casino on land. You cannot have it on land. Okay? You can't have it on land. So what they did, they dug a giant hole. Filled it with water, and put a barge in there. So now the casino is on a boat in a giant hole, not near any water. It's just on water. They found a loophole. They went to that degree to make it easy for you to bring them your money. Okay? I mean, Atlantic City is another spot. Atlantic, first it was Vegas, then became Atlantic City. Atlantic City was supposed to be the version of Vegas on the East Coast, but it never really got that big. It's big, but, people think, somebody, who's that, DJ Spoon. Hey, what's going on, Spoon? People think chancing is a hustle. Motor City is dark and smells like poo. I love it. Thank you, DJ Spoon. Incidentally, Spoon, I want you to join us on the Friday Night Jam session or the Saturday Night Mix. If you want to get on the Friday Night Jam session, send a 2-hour old school mix that we can party to, and I will open the show with you. Or if you want to do house music, send me a 1-hour MP3, and we'll put you on Saturday. And Rick Lenore is sitting chomping at the bit. He loves when new talent comes in, okay? So definitely check me out, wjcdradio@gmail.com. Spoon, I want to hear your stuff. It saddens me that people are in there. It saddened me, but, the funny part about it is me and Boss Lady were in one of the casinos, and sitting a few chairs from this lady, and she was like, "This place done got me down to my last quarter," and me and the Boss Lady looked at each other, and it came to me out of the blue. I started singing Johnny Taylor, "The Last $2," and I sung it out loud. And she busted out, Boss Lady busted out laughing. And the people around us started laughing. And I didn't mean any harm, but it just came to me. I'll do that, I'm sorry. And I was singing Johnny Taylor, "The Last $2." And I still hear it in my head. This lady, "I'm down to my last quarter." I'm like, well, you should have took your ass home back when you had $10. You know, your common sense. When you was in high school, you had to catch the bus to school. But you wanted to go out. You always saved at least bus fare. Always. Here's a person who was down to her last quarter and said it out loud, thinking that somebody was going to say, "Here you go, baby." That didn't happen either. You know, so I imagine it must be a lot of fun when you win. It must be a lot of fun when you get the lights and the ding, 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 ding. You know, it must be a lot of fun. But is it worth losing your job, your home, and in certain cases, your family? As to, is it worth it? I don't think so. You know, I am so happy that the Boss Lady knows her limits. She go in there with a set amount, and she win. If she lose, she lose. Now, I will say this. I have seen her win. I have seen her lose. The win person is a lot easier to deal with than the lose person, you know. But you know, I don't knock it because it's a lot of fun. It's a great place to go eat. And I love to people watch, so I love to go watch people. And I'll sit there and watch her back and then watch other people walk past. You know, I get a kick out of that. You know? I mean, very true. Evelyn Day Hale said, she gambles every now and then, but when I win, I'm up and out of there. Precisely. There's a casino in Illinois, right in Chicago, right near the airport. And you send your old school mix. Let me, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Spoon, I'm going to send you the email address right after I get off the hour, which will be in a few minutes, guys. It is 7 minutes before the top of the hour. We got commercials to do. Before that, we'll hear from Lynn Roundtree. I will be back on Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning. Hope you guys will join us. We talk about everything, you know. Y'all want to talk about relationships? We're not talking about sex. I know where some of the guys got dirty minds. Mellow Mike. Well, you guys tell me what you want to talk about. We'll get right on it. I'll look into it, and I'll get as much information as I can on whatever you want to talk about. In the meantime, I'm going to just check out the news. I check out Facebook. I check out Google. Check out what's happening around the world. We got to stay in touch with everything. I'm getting ready to get out of here. You guys make it a great day on purpose. Be the reason somebody smiles today. If you're able, do something nice for somebody. That'd be real cool. If you know your office is filled with people fat. If you're able, you know your office like sweets, go out and buy a dozen donuts or something like that. Treat them real nice. Or treat them to lunch. If you're able. I done got Mike in trouble. Guys, be the reason somebody has a great day today. All right? Watch out for each other. Wear your mask. Get your hand sanitizer. Give them 6 feet. Watch out. Everybody is not telling you the truth when they say, "Oh, I'm vaccinated." I got 2 cards. Boss Ladies in mine right there. We put them up there. So when we go out of town, we take them with us and be like, bam. And there's a number on there you can call. Okay, and find out and verify if I'm vaccinated. I work for the government. They did it for me on purpose. And if they offer it again, you're damn right. I'm going to be there in that line. Get your shot. If you know somebody who hasn't gotten their shots, encourage them. Don't judge. Don't judge anyone. We are no one's judge. That's what the problem is in this city and in this world today. We are all out judging each other. Just encourage them to, possibly do their research. If they're able to get the shot, take the shot. If they're not able to, there probably is some other way they can get around it, okay? DJ Mellow Mike will be at the MGM Grand. Stop by and say hi to him if you can. I think it's for the employees only, isn't it, Mike? I'm going to see if I can sneak down there real quick, too. Check out Mellow Mike there. Then me and Mellow Mike are going to be at Rouge Park with Judge Mathis. Hope to see you there. We're going to be barbecuing. Yeah, and I'm going to bring some T-shirts, and you can buy your own WJZD Radio T-shirt. Bam! And be looking good. I got the banner back up. Look for the banner. This week, Saturday? Look for the banner at Rouge Park. It'll be there. I'll be there. I think Waldo's gonna be there. And just put your ear to the wind, because you'll hear the best music you ever heard in your life. I'm getting ready to get out of here. When I cut the camera off, understand the music's gonna stop, but it doesn't have to. Just go to Google and type WJZD Radio Detroit. It'll come up, tap it, then press play. To make each and every day count, baby. Make it a good day on purpose. We are WJZD Radio Detroit.com. I'm out of here. Love you guys.